Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures with Cookie and the Cowboy. Hey, I sponsor a student angler club, and they want to learn how to tie flies. But the problem I've got is I do not have a portable fly tying station that I can bring up to the school and show them how to do that. So what I'm going to do, we're going to build one today. I'm just going to use scraps I can find around the shop. Let's give it a go. So I've got a couple of design ideas. I've got some pictures that I've looked at for some other people and a couple of different design looks. And then I've tried to sketch up my own little ideas right here. But the problem I got is if I'm going to use scraps, the designs are just going to be conceptual ideas. The scraps are going to have to kind of tell me how I'm going to design it based on what I find. So, you know what? Let's go hunt for some scraps. Bunch of old cabinets and stuff that didn't work out for some student projects. And this was sitting inside of there. That ought to be a pretty good starting point for a base. Let's take that. I remember seeing this piece of walnut that a student had glued together a year or so back, and it's got some warps in it. I bet I can refurbish this into a top for the station. I was cleaning up the shop for the Christmas holidays, and these are just odds and ends pieces from various projects I picked up. This is the old scrap bin. It's where I have the students throw the pieces they're not using. Looks like there's some long, thin ones here that might come in handy. I'll grab a few of them too. Let's check the base out first. That'll be our starting point. Find out is it level and square. It feels pretty good that way. As far as square goes, I have my suspicions. Yeah, it's not really square, but it's not off so bad that I can't use it, because this is just going to be what it's sitting on, and it's just meant to kind of keep things from getting tipsy. So I think we can use her as is and build from here. On my set of plans, I kind of sketched out something about 24 wide by about 16 long with this base underneath it. This base will work out okay, and this piece of walnut's way over that size, so we just get that flattened out a bit in size. That's going to work out okay. We're going to want to put some curved ends on it and work from there. Let's go to work. So I checked out this piece of walnut pretty close, and the warps really aren't that bad. I'm going to be able to run her directly through the planer and clean it up, get it the thickness I want it to be. So let's get the dust collector turned on and get this board planed to where I want it on thickness. For most of the rest of the build, the shop dust collector is going to be on, which is kind of loud, so it's going to be just not a lot of talking, just watching me work. Let's wait for some glue to dry. Then we'll maybe put some dowel joints in there to strengthen some of them glue joints up a bit. All right, I've got the dust collector off now. Don't really need it for the rest of the build. Pork ribs and Coke are great, thanks for asking. The glue is set up enough that I can continue to work. It definitely hasn't achieved full strength, so I'll be careful and cautious, but I want to pin these butt joints together with some dowels. I did just some really rough butt joints on this build so I could get this ready for the students to work with. I'm definitely going to build one of my own that's got a little more fancy work to it and some really nice joining, but this is a utility piece meant to get in action soon, so we're going to do some dowel pinning, get some strength to it so we can get her finished up and ready to run. Well, the top should be ready. Not too worried about putting any dowels in it. It had a good glue surface. Let's check it out. Looking good. Let's get her on, connected to the bottom. Well, just got to glue the top down. Let that dry for a minute, get some finish on it, then give it a test run. Calibrated glue finger, activated. Well, while we're waiting for glue to dry again, I got some brass rods. It'll be to hold the thread spools on in here. Need to get them cut and put in with epoxy. Let's get that done. Little 2-part 5-minute epoxy. Just a little dip in the pool. And a little tap going down. We're ready to put a finish. We're just going to do a real simple little couple light coats of a polyurethane varnish. And I'm speeding up, going a little faster than I should have. I've made a few mistakes along the way, but Cookie has a few projects for me, and I'm a little late to get to them, so it's all right. She's going to be a good little working fly tying station for the students. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's get the finish on her and let her dry, and we'll give her a trial run. Well, second coat of finish is on and drying. It's funny how finishes point out every imperfection you got. I definitely got in a hurry there, and I know some mistakes I made. Some will be obvious to you, some of them won't. But I'm happy. It's going to be a nice little utility fly tying station that I can use to help train the student anglers. So as soon as that dries, I'll set her up with some materials and give her a try, and we'll be ready to teach it. All right, we're back home. I've got the fly tying station all set up. Vise on, spots for glue, hooks. I haven't put the magnetic strip on yet. That'll go there, but all the tool holders, knot tires, scissors, thread bobbins, bobbin sections, place to just set some various materials. Another other side, also tools as well. And as you can see, it works. We'll see you next time on Adventures with Cookie and the Cowboy. Remember what Cookie always says, there's always something beautiful in the day, even when her husband's late to do the honeydews. We'll see you next time.